Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Can you say anything on this, or do you have a time delay?
No, yeah, no, there's no, well, we're on tape, but man, nobody ever really cuts anything out.
She has been a musical chameleon, a pop cultural star, and a trailblazer who has outlasted nearly all of her contemporaries, all without biting her tongue. But this was different. Cher surprised fans and industry insiders alike in a recent no-holds-barred appearance on the Originals podcast when she did something few legends ever do. She identified names. No mysterious tweets, no veiled shade. She only works with 5 artists, some of whom are megastars, and vows she will never collaborate with them again. I have worked with the best, she explained. I have endured the worst, and honey, I have earned the right to say enough. The list was not petty. It was not clickbait. It was personal. Behind each name was a narrative of betrayal, disdain, or outright dismissal that formed Cher's reputation more than the glitter wigs or autotune ever could. Several names were expected. Others? That is shocking. Fans were taken aback when one artist revealed himself to be more than just a collaborator. He was once the love of her life. The pop scene blossomed. Social media became a battleground of support and disbelief. Critics appreciated her for being genuine. Others accused her of renewing old feuds. But Cher did not flinch. I am not burning bridges, she stated. I am simply lighting the truth. And when Cher exposes the truth, you can bet the entire business feels the fire. Because this is more than simply music, it is about respect. 1. The rock star who dismissed her. Gene Simmons. He treated me like an accessory. They were the most unlikely of couples, Cher, the glammed-up goddess of reinvention, and Gene Simmons, the leather-clad face of Kiss. When they began dating in the late 1970s, it felt like a cultural surprise, 2 icons from different universes clashing in public. What about behind the scenes? It was not a rock romance. Honest about something, when you try to force something on the public, it may work for a year, it may work for 6 months. He treated me like arm candy, Cher admitted plainly. I am not a partner. Not equal. Just a prop and eyeliner. She says it began subtly. Gene was first nice and respectful. He called her the only real woman in Hollywood. However, as their connection progressed, so did the contempt. Cher claims he criticized her TV roots, underestimated her singing abilities, and allegedly told Rolling Stone she was not a real rocker, just good at looking like one. And when they discussed touring together, things became worse. We would be in rehearsals and he would tell the sound guy to turn down the volume. She's just the opening act, he would say, half laughing. Cher did not laugh. Not the first time. Not the 4th time. And certainly not when Gene allegedly told her to wear less feathers, more leather if she wanted to be taken seriously. The final straw came at a private performance where Cher, fresh from her disco-era comeback, was scheduled to play a solo number. Gene reportedly told the promoter, she is not the headliner. No more than 2 songs. That is when I knew, Cher explained. I was not his duet partner. I was his accessory. They separated weeks later. And when asked if she will ever undertake a reunion project with Simmons, her response was razor sharp, he got a shot and he blew it. Under a stack of platform boots and Ego 2, the sister who turned. Tina Turner cold Tina Turner we built it together then she took it all 2 survivors 2 icons 2 women who pushed their way out of male-dominated shadows and built their own empires were intended to be a powerhouse duo they were supposed to be a powerhouse duo fans and critics alike referred to the collaboration between Cher and Tina Turner in the late 1980s as historic the collaboration consisted of a one-off song and a brief tour of selected European countries the duet that they performed. Titled Shame 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 Don't Take the beginning of this song and do it was a raw soulful and full of attitude performance on the other hand what was supposed to be a celebration of sisterhood instead turned out to be one of the most icy betrayals Cher has ever committed in her career what Cher said was we had chemistry. In just one take we were able to nail that song. We laughed and we danced. It was as though I had discovered a sister in arms. However, the cracks began to appear very quickly. They were meant to be a formidable duo, two survivors, two icons, two women who pushed their way out of male-dominated shadows and established their own empires. When Cher and Tina Turner collaborated in the late 1980s for a one-off single and a brief European tour, fans and reviewers alike hailed it as historic. Their duet Shame. Shame was fiery, visceral, soulful and loaded with attitude, but what was supposed to be a celebration of sisterhood rapidly devolved into one of Cher's worst betrayals to date. We had chemistry, Cher explained. We laughed, danced and nailed the song in one take. I thought I had found a sister in arms, but the fissures appeared quickly. Cher recalls Tina's staff gradually shifting the narrative, with press releases referring to it as Tina's single featuring Cher, despite the song being sold as a 50-50 THS collaboration. Magazine covers began to feature solely Tina photo shoots strangely cropped Cher out. Cher claims that when rehearsals for the collaborative stage performances began, she was treated as a backup singer. She refused to look me in the eye during soundcheck. It seemed as if I did not exist without the cameras. Everything came to a head during the Grammys. Both were nominated for different projects that year, but their duet generated a lot of buzz. Cher walked up in full glitter, ready for a reunion show. Backstage, Tina reportedly refused to engage with her. I stood in the wings as she passed past me like I was just another helper. She did not say hi, she did not say thank you, she did not say a thing. Tina went on to win the night. In her acceptance speech, she thanked her team, her band and her manager, but not Cher. I stood there and realized that she erased me from everything we had built. Cher completed the tour. She fulfilled the remainder of their promotional duties, but it was the last time they spoke in public. She has always been respectful. She admired Tina's strength, talent and survival, but when questioned now if she had ever considered making amends, I do not hold grudges, Cher explained, but I never forget being cut out of my own art. That is not a sister, that is a rival with a nice smile. 3. The pop star who used her, Adam Lambert. He wrote My Name then vanished. When Adam Lambert debuted post-American Idol, his voice style and bold stage presence earned comparisons to the finest, and who was one of his biggest early supporters. Sure, I noticed him and thought there is something there. He is brave, he is distinct, he reminds me of what made people afraid of me in the 1970s. Sure did not simply admire from afar. She reached out, offered encouragement, and even stepped on stage during one of his Vegas performances. She provided him her support, mentioned him in interviews, and most crucially helped unlock doors behind the scenes. I made a call that helped him get his first large international stage gig. He understands that, so does his team. But when Adam's career took off, Cher claims the hush began. She never received a thank you text, no mention in the liner notes when Adam landed his now iconic slot in front of Queen. Cher says she reached out to congratulate him again, only to be met with crickets. He did not need me anymore, and that is fine, but do not rewrite the story as if I was not present when you were still struggling for a place at the table. Things came to a head when Adam gave a major television interview and was asked who among living artists influenced him the most. He named 5 names. Cher was not one of them. I was not looking for a parade, she explained, but I did not expect to be erased. Fans have long thought that a collaboration between the two was inevitable. Cher insists it will not happen. He held my respect, then he lost it. You do not ignore your godmother, sweetheart. For the diva rivalry that exploded Madonna, she treated me like a joke. Fans have been whispering about the rift between Cher and Madonna for decades. 2 ladies, 2 idols, and 2 cultural forces changed the rules for female performers. On the surface it should have been magical. Behind the scenes it was a chilly war of sequins and stilettos. Madonna. I respected what she did. She changed the game, Cher once stated. But she acted like I was a joke. It began with mutual admiration, or so it seemed. In the early 1990s, the media pushed strongly for a duet. A record executive even revealed that both parties had shown tentative interest. However, when Cher's team sent a recording of a potential track, Madonna reportedly rejected it with a single word: dated. Then came the notorious interview. When asked about Madonna in a candid interview with CBS, Cher grinned and replied, "She is unbelievably creative but also unbelievably rude." That was not shadow, that was personal. She, Cher, used to ridicule my clothes backstage at awards presentations. I once told someone I paved the way for her to wear those ridiculous wigs. I was wearing feathers before she left Catholic school. The final blow came during a private dinner honoring women in music. Cher planned to present Madonna with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Madonna allegedly refused to perform if Cher was on stage. They asked me to step aside for someone who could not even look me in the eyes, Cher exclaimed. She did stand aside and never forgot it. While fans continue to aspire for a diva truce and a duet that would melt the internet, Cher insists it will never happen. She did not want to be friends. She wanted to be the only one. And sure, she is content being in her own league. 5. The one that hurt most, Sonny Bono. He made me cry in front of thousands. This was the most unexpected name Cher dropped. If Jean was her scandal, Tina her disappointment, and Madonna her competitor, Sonny Bono was her start. They were electrifying on stage, playful, timeless. I couldn't do anything else. Have you ever been starstruck by someone? I think Meryl, when I met her. I'm so envious of your friendship with a little tough. Many people did not realize that beneath the hit songs and matching costumes was a relationship that was significantly more controlling than collaborative. He gave me my start, Cher explained. Then he tried to keep me at the starting line while he ran the entire race. She talks about the contracts she did not realize she had signed. She did not have control over the money. The decisions were made without her. But one memory haunts her, a Vegas engagement in the mid-1970s. Cher had just delivered a stunning solo performance when Sonny returned to the stage and criticized her weight in front of hundreds. The audience was still standing. He said, "Well, you know you sing good, maybe lay off the donuts." Everyone laughed. I smiled, and inwardly I was shattered. She wailed backstage, her sobs muffled by the booming cheers in the theater. I never truly trusted a stage again after that. They eventually went their separate ways, professionally and romantically, and while she